Hi there, everybody. My name is Kate, and welcome to my channel, Trinergy Awakens Naturally. Ooh, nose itchy right off the top. That's precisely why I'm coming to you. This is a very powerful time in galactic history and Earth history, humankind. It's a very powerful, powerful time. We just passed the 6, 7, 8 portals, and it's not stopping. It's just going to keep on rocking. We've just passed the 6, 7, 8, as I said, the June 7th of 2024, gearing up to get into the Sirius Stargate, and then going into the Lion's Gate, and it's just going to keep on plowing forward. So 44, thank you very much. I wanted to talk to you about this. These are generally timeless messages. However, it's more relevant to this specific time. However, if anything I'm saying sticks, please take it. That as we're leading up to the Sirius Stargate, we have a bunch of galactic support, interdimensional beings, extraterrestrials, however you identify that, off-planet stuff, and the things that live within the energetic structures of Earth, within Middle Earth and above Earth, around Earth, supporting Earth in whatever vehicles they come in, however they arrive here, however they are showing up, you know, in our energetic spaces and in those ethereal places, those dimensional understandings. There is a bunch of stuff popping right now that's becoming quite alive, innervated. Yeah, my nose is just really, pardon me, excuse me, that is really becoming quite activated with every single human being that recognizes 144, thank you, that recognizes their own self, their own galactic history, their own galactic source, wherever their star families are, wherever they come from. They're activating as light workers and star seeds and those little, you know, weirdos that talk about UFOs and things like that. However you identify, if you're hearing this, then it's you. If you think it's you, it probably is you. Not to put off anything on anybody else. However, we're getting ready to stretch out into some conversation that would probably weird out most of the population of Earth, and yet the very few people that are very much into this and in that high-level energy work, I'm talking to you specifically, and it will apply to you, and the rest of the people that it doesn't matter, that's okay, because it benefits them too, whether they believe it or not. Earth is going through a major transformation as her own organic body and as her own energetic body, and she is getting so much support from the higher dimensional beings that do that from afar, as well as through the organic material bodies, the avatars that we're wearing when we're doing that high-level work and recognizing those energetic spots on Earth that we can really direct some energy and direct some traffic and move some blockages and things. And most of the problem that I've seen with people is that we have to move a few blocks within ourselves first. And so many people in the ascension, realms, in those groups, you know, here on Earth, that we follow some pretty specific understandings. I do not want to give the impression that I follow anything in particular. I listen to what I'm given. I listen to some other readers or other transmissions, however it's coming across, you know, oracles, whatever their vehicle of transmission is. I listen to a lot of different places for confirmation. However, I do not align with any one particular story, so please understand that when I'm starting here, that this is just what I hear. Right now, pardon me, my nose is really going to town, excuse me. And it just started literally as I started to roll. So, you know, let's go with it. That the deal with recently, let me put this in some context on this, 404, thank you very much, that recently I was involved in not sitting with ayahuasca. I did sit with ayahuasca over a month ago now, and then I was very blessed to be asked to come in and act as a seva, or a volunteer, to help out with another ceremony recently that was quite profound and really put me in touch with some stuff that I wasn't expecting. And I was so happy to see this, that there were many people in this room. There was a handful, there were less than 10. But as I was going around the room and just surveying, feeling, and seeing some overlays of stuff, I was really quite happy to see, shocked to see. Like, it was just immense that these people, even though they had had their first cup of ayahuasca and it was kicking their butt, I mean, it was moving hard, that what I noticed as people were getting deeper and deeper into their most vulnerable stuff and into that, you know, darker stuff, or into the things that they came to the ceremony for, more of these very powerful galactic beings showed up, light beings. I mean, intense stuff that I felt like, oh my goodness, I need to be on my knees, you know, like, oh, you know, what do I do here to say, I see you, I respect you, and wow. And there's no ego in those places, in those dimensions. There's no ego in those light beings and those higher dimensional beings that I've ever found. And so I'm very happy to say that there was nothing that I needed to do other than honor their presence and say, I see you. And they returned the favor by saying, cool, we see you too. We have work to do. Get busy. Start working the room. And I noticed when I went from one person to the next, the prevailing theme that I saw was a lot of feline activity, a lot of very powerful big cat. If you would translate it here to an earth knowing already, we would translate it to big cat of some kind, which I found quite interesting, that Sirius is the dog star we know on earth. However, the Orma, the Orma collective, which is a cat collective, won't get into all the history of it, might want to look it up if it appeals to you, that the Orma are here as galactic peacekeepers, galactic warriors, if you will, bringing a great deal of feline skill. And I kept seeing that, and I thought maybe I'm overlaying my own understanding, because I work with felines a lot, and I align very much with a whole cat collective that isn't fully identified to me out here all the way. However, I know there's a whole bunch of big cat energy that works with me, especially in those vulnerable moments when things feel really shaky, tentative, and weird, in that liminal space of, you know, this is strange, I don't know what this is, that almost purring, pardon me, that almost purring sense of calm and sedate, and we're cool with this. You know why we're cool with this, Kate? Because we know how to handle this, and we're getting ready to show you how to also. And so I found, as I continued to work my way around the room, that even though the juxtaposition of watching people going through the throes of some of their deepest stuff, still being able to remain in that neutral position while having a connection, a very heart-filled connection to people, and wanting to offer them the compassion, the kindness, and that Mother Earth presence, and that, you know, mothering presence, that there still needs to be a very detached sense of feline capacity, that we can stay back here with it to offer the support. These are vulnerable people. They need protection. And so I was very, very, very honored and shocked, as I said, to see how much that wasn't for me. That wasn't for me. I was seeing huge collectives with people around the room. They didn't all show up with cats, however, most of them did. And it didn't matter, because there was a cat collective that sat with these people, that was guarding that session, that those 2 nights of ceremony. They were presiding over it, whether they worked individually with people or not. There were a body of like protectors, you know, bodyguards, if you will, that were keeping that space held with very high honor and sacred intention and protection, that that energy would be preserved, that that would be reserved for good intention only, and that any malice or any icky stuff that was coming up for these people, that it was not going to be used in any way to harm them or bring them to a place of self-destruction or anything like that. It was amazing. So moving on from there, I noticed in the days after that a whole bunch of emotional stuff was coming up for me specifically, and I didn't even sit with the medicine. I was a seva. I was just volunteering and offering, you know, energetic support and logistical support. So I was quite surprised that I felt things coming up for me, and so I went searching, you know, in the videos and what are the transmissions, what are the updates, as I follow a couple of people who do daily updates of that high level, you know, galactic stuff that encompasses the knowledge of the solar transmissions, the solar flares, the magnetic disturbances in our magnetosphere for a variety of reasons, and the cosmological events with Saturn, Jupiter, Gemini, you know, all these different things, the new moon, all of it, that every bit of it is relevant all the time. However, it's super duper relevant right now, that now is a perfect time that if we can sit with ourselves, and if we can get past those blockages, whatever they would be, that would perhaps not allow us to see beyond the 3D, to know that the veil, if you don't want there to be a veil, there isn't one. And it can be a little bit freaky, it can be a little bit frightening, it can be a little bit, untoward to be looking around and thinking, am I seeing stuff? Am I hallucinating? Am I just making stuff up? And even as someone who's willing to go pretty weird in some spaces with, okay, that's what I see, cool, and embrace those things, it still weirded me out as well. And so as I was standing here a little while ago, I got the download that even when we are exposed to these things, we can, still, as that old paradigm is grasping and clutching and please don't leave me back here, as those darker energies, or those more asleep places on the planet, or the ignorant, the sleepy, whatever they are, whatever their agenda is, don't care, those places where people are still holding on to the old paradigm, we can get stuck in that energy. We can get possibly pulled in with the meat hook of, yeah, that's stupid, And so I personally, put it out there that if you can be in a space with yourself, to live as a lone warrior for a little while, or a lone wolf, that it doesn't mean that we pull away from society entirely. It means that we pull away from the old paradigm everywhere we see it, and everywhere that we can detach from it. And even if we are living in a space physically where it's not really, looking like it's aligned very well, we can bring 1111, that alignment, with us and into that space, because we have the galactic support, we have the off-planet, we have the interdimensional, we have higher dimensional beings, and we are acting as the proxy to those higher dimensional beings. The more that we can open our heart, open our mind, and get through all the blockages of whatever it would be that would tell us that's just dumb, that's stupid, that's whatever, that I was wondering, because I felt kind of bad, like I was having bubble guts, I was just not feeling good, I was starting to feel really doubtful, 11:44, I was feeling just kind of, in that weird, I think I'm really losing my mind, and I'm one to think some strange stuff, so man, this is really tapping me, and yet that persistent purring, just lulling messages, yeah, it can sound really strange, because you're gonna have to change your mind, Kate, about what you're willing to believe. We're bringing in all kinds of stuff that you have no way to conceive or believe yet, because you haven't seen it yet. And the way that we can help you the most, friend, is to get out of the idea that you're going to see that in 3D the way that you used to. You need to be willing to see through the third eye and every other channel of reception and transmission that we can blow open for you and with you. We're happy to, however you have to be willing to. And I was feeling sick to my stomach, I was feeling this dizziness, this headache, this, all this stuff, and I'm looking for the 3D body reason why. And the 3D body reason why is that there are huge updates happening right now. There's a lot of DNA reconfiguration, construction, deconstruction, a lot of plumbing going on there, and a lot of deep stuff that goes back into not just Earth history, but galactic history. So wherever we've popped up in an avatar anywhere, whatever trauma we've sustained in our bodies, in our avatars, wherever we've been, and however many incarnations we've been, that is clearing out right now. And those felines, there are many other, by the way, councils of light that have representatives from all across the galaxy and beyond anything I really truly understand. I just understand the concept that there's a lot here that don't ask a lot of questions, because you need to stop slow to get all the answers, and you still wouldn't have it all. So just know that there's a lot of stuff here supporting this the transcendence of Earth into new Earth energy, and everything that's on Earth is going with it. Some of it's just not going as easily, because it can be challenging for the human mind and the old paradigm to understand what's happening here. Why would I be seeing, these cat figures, or why would I be seeing, whatever it is that we're seeing? It just so happens that I personally work with cats, and so that obviously that comes more easily to me. However, it doesn't mean that there are not other councils here, that there are not other galactic representations or higher dimensional beings. There are many things from the Arcturians, the Pleiadians, the Lyrans, who travel, kind of with the Pleiadians, as I understand, the blues, the indigos, the blue rays, the violet flames, and the violet rays, the golden rays. We have so much of that rainbow prophecy, if you understand it that way. There is a lot of colorful, vibrant, very specific, targeted energies that I don't mean targeted individuals in that, stuff. I mean targeted to bring healing for our galactic history and our earth history and our own avatar history wherever we've been, whatever we're doing, because we are carrying, I suddenly have a heat wave coming, excuse me, that whatever we're showing up with in our avatar here, we have a history here. However, it's carrying all of that knowledge that we've ever picked up and ever been exposed to in this body. And so as it's all speaking to the different collectives that are here, far more than we could possibly understand, then we're going to experience that in our physicality perhaps, and we might have the bubble guts, we might have the pain, we might have the aches, we might have the I'm super tired, I'm super cranky, I'm super miffed, I'm super confused, I don't know where I am, what's happening here. We might cry, we might feel angry, we might have flashes of stuff from our history, or we may have flashes of what is that is something traumatic we think, however we don't fully understand it. Be willing perhaps to open up to the idea that we may get flashes of things that don't make sense to the human mind, the human construct, and yet we feel it somewhere in our body, at least I do, that I understand that somewhere inside of me. So what I'd like to say to my team is, I don't really know what this means to me. Can you break that down and translate that somehow to my mind, to my heart, to my soul? Can you integrate that within me so that I can understand that, or take that where it needs to be and release me from needing to know much more about it if I'm going to chew up time or waste time missing the healing, missing the transmission by being too human about this. So release and let go of the fact that human looks a whole lot different these days in the energetic spaces. It's very busy. We have a lot of races of off-planet stuff that's here really helping and supporting us, and so very, very celebratory, even though it's chaotic and it looks like hell out here sometimes and it looks pretty bad, that we still have in the energetic spaces, we have so much rejoicing because there's a lot of energies here and we're pushing forward with, I'm not exactly sure what's happening, but something bigger and bigger and bigger is coming with the 6, 7, 8 portal a couple of days ago, and definitely pushing into the Sirius Stargate, going into the Lion's Gate. Yeah, it's like supercharged and super powered. So I'd say to you that if you're feeling out of sorts, if you're feeling weird, if you're feeling like I'm pretty sure that I'm nuts, then be okay with perhaps rolling with, even if you were, it's okay. Fine, whatever, just keep grounded if you can in knowing that things may not look very real, they may not seem like they're, making sense, and it's okay. It's not supposed to make sense just yet. As we assimilate and integrate those understandings and those old avatar experiences, our old incarnations, reincarnation stories, past lives, generational stuff, timelines, grid work, however we show up on this planet, there is a whole bunch coalescing and coming into integration right now that is far more important. What I'm hearing, at least for me, and I'm going to shoot it out here and say it's probably applicable to whomever on the planet that can hear it, that it's far more important to allow those transmissions to come in, to let those be Buddha and detached with, I don't understand that, cool, just let that go and filter in and go wherever it's going to go, and be less concerned about being implanted with something weird, or that, we're being overtaken by dark forces. If it's something that is just causing confusion, it's more than likely something that's doing an integration process, a healing process, or an assimilation process of some kind within us. The spine, the shoulder, particularly the brain, all of the nervous system is aligning to be able to carry these new earth energies and carry this, high level frequency into the age of Aquarius, the new age, the rainbow prophecy being fulfilled, whatever your understanding of that is. It's a matter that we are upgrading. We're bringing our masculine and our feminine into balance, and so you may see that relationships are toppling hard, or they're coming together very easily. Anywhere that we can let go, though, of the fear or the confusion or the delusion, it's critically important now to do so, to take as many spiritual baths as you think you need to visit the sun many, many times if that's what rocks you right, do your moon rituals, do whatever it is that supports you in your energetic space, in your spiritual space, and in your sacred time, however it is that you align. I know there's a lot of people out there that shoot very specific directive about you need to do this, you need to do this, you need to do this. I don't personally really follow a whole lot of that myself. I like to get my guidance from my team because my team knows better than anybody on YouTube or anybody on Patreon or anybody that's writing an article or speaking, out there. They know better ultimately what's best for me, what my specific programming, internally needs, what my best plan of action, what my best protocol needs to be to best receive those energies, those alignments. We're going to receive them regardless if we're open to receive them. We will receive them regardless. However, we can be a more willing recipient if we understand that there might be some blockages if we start going, well, what's that? That's really weird. And trying to interview every little thing that could just slow down the process. It's not a matter that it won't get there. It's a matter that, wow, if I'm feeling uncomfortable and I have bubble guts and my shoulders hurting and my head, it's probably better, Kate, to just let go of why is this happening? What is that? I must be getting sick. Stop going into that, be willing to let go of that and just sit with this, allow this to be, and be very grateful that the energies are here. There's so much support here. If you saw it for all those people a few weeks ago, it's here for you too. That's what we're here to do, that we're here to help people align. We're here to help people wake up, as it were. We're here to expose people to new earth at the level that they're willing to receive that. And if we weird out, with the first thing that doesn't make sense, we're missing a whole, possibly if we stop at the buffet early and start questioning what's at the very beginning of the table, we may miss for a little while the rest of the table, and we might be really hungry. And if we just went a little bit further, that those are only napkins and plates and forks, what the hell, I'm super hungry, this is stupid, I'm gonna just forget it, keep walking, keep walking. So the message that I'm getting very consistently on the daily is, stay the course, keep calm and steady on, that even when it seems weird, even when it seems scary, even when it seems like it doesn't make sense, even when 2112, that it hurts, there is always a purpose to this. And as long as we stay very much in alignment with this is always, thank you, my shoulder just popped, we are always, always being helped and assisted in this process. It is always for our good. And our good is not always comfortable as we're making those movements through pain and, physicality and old memory in our body, the tissues, the bones, the organs, the memory, our cellular memory, our DNA activations. Those are not always pleasant. However, keep calm, steady on, and whatever you do that keeps you connected to your source within you and your whole team that opens up to, then please do that. Support yourself very well, because when you support yourself, that opens up the door for all of that other support to really reveal itself to you even more. So I hope this is helpful for you, and I hope that you enjoy your day no matter what part of the day you're in. And remember, get within your skin, because you're divine. Oh yeah, it's going through some upgrades, however, it's totally fine. It knows what it's doing. And when we're more consciously aligned with our mind, which is just the programming that we overlay on top of this divine, when we allow that to sit back and just allow this to run the show for a little bit, and less of this, here, and leave out all the distractions of how it could be this, could be that, blah, 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 the less that we feed that mind for a minute and allow divine to really, let that drive the boat, then we may find that we're in that flow a little more easily, even if we have bubble guts, even if we're a little seasick, even if it feels a bit uncomfortable, that we do reach a place of balance once again. So as I said, get within your skin, and you're divine. It's totally fine. So release into that. It'll be okay. I promise you it will be. Take care of your beautiful selves, and I will see you again next time, my friends. Goodbye.